Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mad Church Disease Podcast. I am your humble host and servant, Marcellus McMillan. Thank all of you for joining me on tonight. We are going to be having a great conversation tonight. We're going to be discussing Kirbyjon Caldwell. We're also going to be talking about Tommy Pinkerton. We're going to be dealing a little bit with Melania Trump as well as Michael Tait of the gospel group Newsboys. And if you guys are familiar with this group, I remember Michael Tait also from another group. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was a part of a group called DC Talk as well. So if that rings a bell with you guys will be able to share with me, and we'll be able to talk about that on tonight. So shout out to all of you guys that are here tonight. I'm so very grateful and humble that you are here. So we're definitely going to be having a great conversation on tonight, everybody. Shout out to Daryl Moore. Thank you, Daryl Moore, for being here. Shout out to Sharon T. Leonard for being here as well. Paula, thank you so very much for joining me. Blessed and favored. Fred Samuel, thank you so much. G. Stewart, thank you for being here as well. Moni No Love, of course. My niece is in the house. Shauna girl, thank you so much for joining me. Tara, good to see you here, as well as Gerald. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we wish Gerald a happy birthday? Today happens to be Gerald's birthday. Happy birthday to you, Gerald. And we just want to celebrate you on your birthday as well. So shout out to Gerald on his birthday. So shout out to all of you guys. And thank you all so very much for joining me on today. I'm excited. I'm thrilled, and I'm just so very grateful to be here. If you guys are familiar with the Mad Church Disease channel, you guys know that this channel is a channel that is all about our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages who stepped out of the safe bounds of institutional Christianity to simply tell the truth. We are truth tellers over here. This is not a church show, but this is a show about your raggedy church. So we're definitely going to be having a conversation. It's a little bit different. Some of you may not be used to somebody talking so freely and having these types of conversations. And so tonight it will be no different than what we have always done. I need for you right now, if you have not yet done it, please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Please do me the awesome favor also of sharing this broadcast. If you've yet to share the broadcast, I need for you guys to do that, because we of course are going to be sharing the broadcast. Now, I need for you guys to know, I'm taking a look in the back office. I'm looking at all of the numbers. We're going to be, making some changes as far as how we submit some of our videos and some of the things that we do. So we're trying to improve, and we're trying to get better with a couple of things. So thank you guys so very much for supporting the channel, and I really do appreciate it. Now, if you're new to my channel and you would like to make sure that you do not miss any of my lives and you want to get notified, you can do that by joining our email newsletter. There will be a link in the description for you below, or a digital learn deals link for you as well. That link should be there for you, so that way you can subscribe to that information as well. You can also become a part of our SMS, our text club, where we will text you on your cell phone to notify you that we are going live. We're still sort of working out our text club stuff, but that's on its way. But you guys can go there and sign up for that now. The digital learn deals link is probably the best way for you guys to get that information as well. All right. So I appreciate all of you guys for doing that. Tonight, we're going to get into a very good conversation. Tonight, I feel like tonight's show is going to be one of these epic shows for the Mad Church Disease channel. And so you guys are going to want to settling in to all of the people that are out there in cyberspace. And if you're watching this on the replay, hopefully you'll be able to garner some good information and get some great information from this as well. Okay. So thank you guys so very much. I appreciate that. So shout out to all of you guys. Also, if you're looking to support the Mad Church Disease channel, please do so. The Cash App information is on the screen. This is the way that we're able to afford to put together phenomenal program, phenomenal videos, and keep this information coming to you at a consistent basis. We typically go live every single day, and we try to do that so that we can keep all of this stuff pushing and keep good information coming in your direction. And so we definitely want to do that. So if you guys do not mind, we ask that at least 10 of you guys will support the channel with at least $10. And that will help us to continue the work that we are doing. So shout out to all of you that are doing that. And we appreciate every single one of you for supporting the Mad Church Disease channel. Now, when we come back, we're going to get started with our first story of the night. So buckle in, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll just have a good introduction and good talk. So you guys settle in. Welcome to the Mad Church Disease channel, a channel dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Want to stay connected to me and the Mad Church Disease community? Well, then join our email community newsletter. Stay in the know with all the updates and fresh content that is created for this channel. It's time you join the private community for the revolutionary family, where we can talk and laugh all in a space that's safe with a no judgment zone. Connect with other members and build lasting friendships. The doors are now open. Want to stay connected and be notified each time I go live? Subscribe to the text community and be notified each time that we go live. Simply add your details for instant updates on all our lives. Are you a budding YouTuber or business professional who would like my thoughts on all things business related? Book a free 15-minute consultation where I can help with social media, YouTube, web design, and so much more. Book your consultation now and build your future. Get away from the rat race and build your business. Shout out to all of you guys. If you are a budding YouTuber, if you're somebody that's looking to use YouTube to grow your brand, grow your business, I most certainly can help you with that. All you need to do is book a free 15-minute consultation call with me, and I'll be able to walk you through a couple of things to see how we can help you in your business and in your endeavors. So you guys want to make sure that you hit the Digital Learn Deals link that's in the description below, or the link that you're finding on the channel, and that should get you over to where you need to be. Well, shout out to all of you guys today. Shout out to Gerald. First of all, Gerald, happy birthday to you again. We're definitely going to get into our topic on tonight. We got a long haul to go tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I am in no rush. Now, let me tell you why I'm in no rush. I noticed the other night I was supposed to talk to you guys about Melania Trump, and I didn't even discuss Melania Trump, like totally left off the Melania Trump story. And you guys know why that typically happens is because I'm trying to move quickly. I'm only trying to be on here for roughly about an hour. And so I'm typically kind of moving things along as fast as I can because I know it's sort of late on the East Coast. And so coming on roughly around 9 o'clock at night over there where you guys are in the East Coast. And so I know it's a little bit tough for you guys. And so I try to be, respectful of your time. And so sometimes I typically move too fast and I mess around and I forget a whole darn story. That's why I forgot to tell y'all about Melania Trump the other day. But tonight is will be okay because I got my notes here in front of me, and we're definitely going to be talking about that. Y'all tell me what's going on with you. What's going out in these social media streets. I have not been really paying attention to all of the stuff going on in social media. I've literally been sticking to myself. I think I rolled over there in Vincent's chat either yesterday or the day before. So I'm going to be trying to roll over to some other people's chats and be in some chats in the next couple of days. And so I've just been trying to protect my peace and work really hard on the channel. I've got a whole new system for YouTube Shorts. If you are a member of the channel, you guys should have your notifications on because I have changed the look and the feel of some of the YouTube Shorts, and this should be very helpful to us as a channel. And so you guys need to give me your feedback and let me know. I uploaded those already. So it's you guys get access to it before the general public does if you're a member. And by the way, if you are not a member of my channel and you want to support the channel, please do so. Our lowest barrier of entry is only $4.99 a month. And then that way you can support the channel. And the moderators, of course, will give you all of the information as far as supporting the channel. And we're very grateful. Let me see here because I don't see any of the links in the chat that I mentioned before. So let's see if I can put them in. Let me see if I can get over here to do it. If y'all want to give me a minute here, I'll try to get the link for the signing up for the text message system and all of that. If you guys can just give me a moment, I'd really appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. But the link that you now see that's is being added inside of the chat, you all, that's the link that you can use to sign up for my email newsletter. That'll notify you every time we go live, as well as give you some more information on our SMS text system. Once you guys know, we do not share your information with anyone. All of that stays here, and so that's where it goes. And I know Gerald is going to stay as long as he can, he said. But you know, Gerald, there's always the replay, so we thank you. Shout out to Sean Talks. Thank you so much for coming in. I see you here. Shout out to Sean. Thank y'all all for joining me. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer tonight because we got a long haul to make. All right. So let me set up, get all my stuff set up here so we are where we need to be, and then we can get started and start talking about our topic on tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Julie.
All right, you guys. Now, well, I'm kind of going backwards here. Hold on. I kind of went a little backwards. Before I do that, let me remove this. I went a little backwards. Sorry about that. Let me share. I'm telling you, StreamYard gets me too. Sometimes I'd be like, wait a minute, am I doing this right? The gentleman that you see on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Tommy Pinkerton. He is a former youth pastor and associate pastor. He has now been accused of grooming and essaying at least 7 young boys. He was actually serving as the youth leader and the youth pastor. He did that between the year of 2006 to 2010. He now faces up to 20 felony counts, including second-degree child abuse, second-degree assault, as well as many essay offenses. Okay, most of these essay offenses occurred at the Central Christian Church that is located in Baltimore County, Maryland. So if you're over there in Baltimore, Maryland, Baltimore County, Maryland, you might be familiar with this church, and you might be familiar with this story. Some of the incidents also happened at his home there, and he also has I guess one that was also reported in Georgia as well. Now, for this particular gentleman, his investigation for his situation started way back in 2024 in October. They issued an arrest warrant for him on June the 25th, and he was arrested on July 16th in Georgia. And then he was extradited back to Maryland, okay? And they did that on August the 6th, all right? Now, the church leadership is accused of withholding the information as members who started raising concerns and raising, their head up, talking about this situation with Tommy Pinkerton. A lot of the members started raising their head and started asking some questions. And when they started asking some questions, you guys can just imagine what happened when they started doing that. That, of course, is going to start a whole situation there. All right, so let's go ahead and add this.
Who is
and we want to give you guys the rest. I'm going to give you guys some more commentary, but I want to give you guys an understanding of the story. I will kind of stop it for copyright reasons as well. But let's go ahead. I'm going to roll this clip for you. It's queued up for you. Let's play the clip.
No longer associated with the Comstock Park Church, has been under investigation since last year, but was arrested just this week. Tori Grunwell started going to the New Chapel Church in Comstock Park in 2020. She was childhood friends with and a housekeeper for the church's pastor.
Always been able to reach out to them, with concerns and that kind of stuff until recently. And then when I started making my concerns known, they stopped responding to me.
Grunwell came.
I want you all to notice that what the first thing that she says is when she started making her concerns noticeable and started trying to reach out and ask the church for help, the church started pretty much shunning her and not responding to any of the things that she was asking.
To 13 on Your Side in March of this year, expressing concerns about a member of the church, a different pastor, Tommy Pinkerton.
He's one of the youth group leaders and the treasurer of our church on the board since the beginning of the start of this church 10 years ago. He's been very active in our church as a youth pastor and being a traveling evangelist.
According to screenshots taken from the church's website in March, Pinkerton was listed as the church's treasurer. He is not anymore, and his recorded messages have been scrubbed from their website. Pinkerton was one of her son's youth leaders, and she was already uncomfortable by his actions at the church.
Now, you all need to understand something. He was a part of the youth ministry, but he was also the treasurer. So this guy held a very pivotal and vital role at the church. And, you know, for commentary purposes, this is one of the things that you need to be able to recognize, that a lot of times, a lot of these stories that we tell, it becomes really difficult because a lot of these dudes that are doing some of this unscrupulous stuff hold very high positions in the church. And like she just told you, he was a part of this church and had been a part of this church for over 10 years. Okay. And this is a recurring theme. This is something that seems to be happening more frequently within the institution. And my goal here is to help you understand how to protect yourself, how to protect your family, how to protect your children, so you will understand what you need to do as an individual. Now, and we'll get into some more, and I'll give you the rest of my commentary, but just so you understand, that's the whole purpose of telling you guys these stories.
Went out of his way during services to point out my son and talk about how anointed he was, and the face of God is upon him, and all of these really faith-based things coming out of his mouth to my son.
She said she contacted multiple people in the church about the allegations.
In that conversation, they told me it was true, and that they just kept asking how I knew. They wanted to know the people who told me and how this information got out.
But as she kept pressing for answers, she says she was kicked out of the church and blocked by people she considered her church family.
I'm just praying that all the truth comes out, and that anybody who has been betrayed in this receives the answers that they deserve for our kids.
Grunwell has pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge for threatening the lead pastor at New Chapel, which she said was because she wasn't getting answers.
She got mad and she went over there and started asking some questions, and the folks got mad, and she started making some threats, as any parent would do. And when she started doing that, folks got upset. And so, you know how things can blow up. So you know what goes down when that happens.
Months, 13 on Your Side has looked into Pinkerton, trying to find arrest records. Until this week, when Pinkerton was arrested in Georgia and extradited to Maryland. Pinkerton is charged in Baltimore County with multiple counts of child abuse, assault, sexual abuse of a minor, and sexual offense. The investigation into Pinkerton started in October of last year, when multiple men came forward expressing they were abused by Pinkerton while a part of his youth group in Maryland between 2006 and 2010. The men claimed Pinkerton had a group of minor boys known as favorites, with the victims claiming Pinkerton would sexually assault them primarily at his home in Maryland.
Now, when they said he had a group of boys and known as favorites, it reminded me of the Eddie Long story, because, Eddie Long, he had something called, they had that Longfellow Academy. And then there was another name that they used to give them, and so it kind of reminded me a little bit of that when I heard that. So it's a very interesting situation as far as this story is concerned.
Often, as the court documents claim, justifying it with religion. In a statement to 13 on Your Side, New Chapel Church said, "We were heartbroken to hear of these serious allegations that occurred in Baltimore, Maryland nearly 20 years ago, and communicated the situation to our church family after severing all ties with the accused several months back. Our prayers and continued cooperation are toward justice for the victims." Detectives do believe there may be more victims of Pinkerton's abuse who have yet to come forward. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Baltimore County Crimes Against Children Unit. At this time, Pinkerton is not charged with any crimes in Michigan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this particular time, according to the report, he is not charged with any crimes I believe that's in Georgia, any other crimes rather. And but that is the story of Tommy Pinkerton. So here's the thing and the reason why I definitely wanted to bring up this particular story, and I felt like this particular story was important for us to cover. You will notice that one of the things that the mother said initially is that when she started reaching out to the church, one of the things that the church started doing is questioning her as to who gave her the information. I found that to be really, really interesting. So instead of the church trying to take the initiative to find out, okay, what's going on, they started questioning her and putting the spotlight on her, kind of trying to shun her from looking into the situation that in regards to her son. And I found that very, very interesting, you all, in this particular case. One of the traits that you will find in these types of situations with pastors and with leaders and people who do these types of things is they will most certainly start trying to shun the person who's trying to bring the information out or to tell the truth of that particular situation. You guys got to understand something. First of all, just because a person is a youth pastor or quote unquote youth leader doesn't necessarily reflect that, you need to just be not doing your due diligence when it comes to who you're leaving your children around, right? I am a big firm believer that you should be doing some type of background check, or the church has done some type of background check. And that doesn't necessarily reflect that doesn't mean that anything can't happen, but it's necessary that, you should be paying attention to that. Now, here's another thing that she said that I found to be very interesting. This particular youth pastor took a liking to her son, and he started, love bombing and, sort of gaslighting them in a certain way, where he was telling them, oh, your son is super anointed. He's called by God. He's got a special anointment on him. He needs to be close to me and I need to be close to him. And she said it was all of those faith-based things that he would be saying. And that's the sort of make a person relax their guard and not really pay attention to the signs. Let me tell you one of the things that I think every parent should be paying attention to when it comes to these types of stories. Y'all listen to me really carefully. If your child, if somebody's taking a special interest in your child at church, I don't care whether it's a man, a woman, whatever, you need to first of all slow that down, slow it down, thank them, of course, but slow that down. That doesn't automatically mean that you should be, trusting of this individual. What's up, Jai? What's up, Jacqueline? Man, the vents got changed here for the AC. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's my allergies or what, but we changed the vent, so I don't even know. But I want to tell you guys, you need to be, paying attention to that and paying very close attention to that, because that's really, really key. All right. So I need for y'all to know that and to pay attention to that. What's Sean talking about? Sean talking all these women out here that just drop it like it's hot in New York minute. And yeah, I know, right? And that's the funny thing about that kind of situation. These people are something else, but it goes to show you that there is a pattern here, ladies and gentlemen, and people should be paying attention to the pattern and making sure that they understand and watching their kids and watching what's going on. I found it to be really interesting how she talked about the love bombing that this youth pastor would do on her son. He paid very close attention to her son and really paid, gave special interest to him. And when you're going to church and you're going and you're fellowshipping and you're worshiping, for the most part, you're just trusting of your pastor, you're trusting of the so-called leader, the person, right? And I think on some level, we all need to understand as adults and as grownups, we have to, curtail that somehow and really pay close attention to what's going on. But that is the story of Tommy Pinkerton. It's a very, very interesting story. And you guys know I am going to have a host of these stories coming on. So you guys are going to want to make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you're paying attention, because guess what? We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay around. We're going to make sure that we're bringing you great stories just like the one I just told you. And we have a whole lot more coming up. So you guys just make sure you hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed to my channel, because this is the place where you're going to get unfiltered information to make sure that you can protect yourself, protect your family, and understand kind of the symptoms and the signs of a lot of this stuff so that you can sort of ward off and thwart off some of this stuff.
Mad Church Disease, a channel that's all about current events, news, and Christian drama. A channel that's dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Our brothers and sisters who courageously stepped outside the safe bounds of institutional Christianity to tell the truth. A channel whose goal is to help the average person understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. So like, comment, subscribe, and smash the notifications button to be a part of this channel.
Shout out to all of our subscribers and all of the individuals who are subscribed to the channel. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank y'all so much for showing up and showing out and supporting the Mad Church Disease channel. I don't take it lightly. I appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. If you're off in the bushes, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. And thank you guys for doing that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us continue, and we want to definitely make sure that we're moving in the direction that we need to be moving in. And I need to tell y'all that's an interesting story about that particular gentleman. Now, I wanted to tell you guys this story the other day. Melania Trump, who happens to be the wife of the president of the United States at this particular time, believe it or not, First Lady Melania Trump and the White House, the Trump administration. Now, y'all get a kick out of this because I'm already laughing before I can even tell this darn story. Get a kick out of this. The White House has put out a press release, and they are now asking for volunteers to come and to work and perform and decorate the White House for Christmas. They are trying to recruit people on social media, and it is drawing the attention of critics as well as commentators, because the woman who said F the Christmas, y'all remember last year, the last time they was in the White House, she said F the Christmas, F the Christmas, F the Christmas. She don't care nothing about no Christmas. They want free help over there at the White House. Now they over here throwing all the migrants out. They over there running with these ICE raids, but they want you to come and work for free at the White House. I found this to be fascinating. Just me. I'm kind of quirky like that. F the Christmas, F the Christmas. Okay. But anyway, so the White House opened applications for volunteers to help with Christmas at 1600 Pennsylvania Ave, seeking school bands, choirs, holiday performers, a cappella and acoustic only, and adult decorating volunteers for the holiday decorations. Now, here's the funny thing about this to me. I don't know. You guys know I'm a little quirky. You over there in over there in Washington, D.C. and the Maryland area, and you have released the National Guard on these folks. And at the same time, you done release the National Guard up on these folks. You trying to get volunteers to come over to the White House to work for free. Isn't that a trip? Do anybody else find that to be quite strange? I know I personally do. I personally think that's some sick stuff going on over there. I really do. Like, how in the world are you going to be asking for people to come and volunteer when you running away all of the migrants and you running away people, trying to put people in prison and take and ship people off to places that they've never lived and they've never been? Is it just me, ladies and gentlemen? Or does that not strike you as a little bit odd? Is that not a little bit odd to you? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, check this out. The performer applications are due by September the 5th at 5:00. Audition tapes will be a cappella or acoustic, and you have to get that in by October the 13th. The decorating volunteers must be available from November the 24th all the way. The applications for that is November 30th for setup. And they have performances that they're dedicating will occur on 8 designated dates. So not only are you going to commit to it and you're going to volunteer, you're going to have to commit to 8 designated dates. So I guess they've got 8 days of performance going on at this here White House. Now, the F the Christmas lady, the F the Christmas. The F the Christmas lady she wants to have a big old Christmas production with free workers. Can I just say, Melania and Donald, you guys should have probably paid these people a monthly stipend and maybe provided for them some money, because nobody wants to come and work for an administration that doesn't really care whether or not folks have jobs or not. Because to really tell you the truth, this administration is not doing too well, especially amongst African Americans. I think I read a statistic the other day that said like 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs under this new administration, Donald Trump, within the last like 6 months to a year. 300,000 women, Black women specifically, have lost their jobs. Very, very interesting. I can't see anybody running to Melania, if the Christmas, to go over there to volunteer for her. What's going to happen? You're going to be staging the White House. You're going to be doing the public tours. You're going to be providing free entertainment for billionaires and the rich folks. And I'm sure there's going to be some people that are visiting the White House, but you're going to be over there doing all of that for free. Doing it all for free. I'm just saying. I don't know about nobody else, but I find that to be very, very strange. Very, very strange. I don't know how in the world you're going to be asking people to work for free, and you running around here talking about some F the Christmas. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but I found that to be kind of fascinating. I found that to be fascinating. And look, Jesse says, and firing people. I know that's right. And look here, what you say, and set up to arrest and possibly deportation. I know that's right. You sign up, you're gonna mess around. The next thing you know, you're gonna be in Fallujah somewhere, because when they pack you up and send you out, you're going to a place far, far away that you might be unfamiliar with. Right. Listen at this. Exactly. Because they like free labor. Moni, she likes free labor. They like this kind of labor where you just do all of this work, and you do all of this work for free, and all of that kind of stuff. I find that to be, I don't know about you guys, but I find that the height of hypocrisy. You can't find the job market is, sucking, but you want people to just go over here and work for free. I found that to be very, very funny, to me personally. Look, Jesse said, I'm going to sign up and do the switcheroo. Silent night. I know that's right. See you later. Now, here's the other thing, Jesse. I was thinking, why don't a bunch of Black people sign up for this? And then when it comes time to do the work, just don't show up, since it's volunteer. They can't arrest you. I think Black people ought to pull an Aruda Baduki. I think you're right. I think they ought to pull an Aruda Baduki and go over there and sign up. Y'all know how 50 Cent used to buy all the tickets at Ja Rule's concerts, the front row, like the first 5 rows. And then when they would get ready to do the concert, it looked like nobody was there, because 50 Cent and them had paid all that money and bought up them tickets. I think that's honestly what they should be doing over there to Melania Trump. That's my humble opinion. I really do believe they should do that. They should do it because that's what these people are. That's who they are. That's what they do. That's how they treat other people. And I kind of feel like they should do that. You all need to be hitting the like button. If you have not yet hit the like button, please make sure that you guys do so, because there's definitely a shifting going on with YouTube. And I definitely need you guys extra support in hitting the like button. Oh my goodness, because over here at the Mad Church Disease channel that we're definitely trying to keep you guys in the know. And trying to make sure that you guys have all of the updated information on these stories, and just having some trending topics and bringing this stuff to you. So if you guys could do me the awesome favor, please hit the like button. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you do so, and please hit the subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the gentleman that you see on the screen right now, his name is Michael Tait. Ladies and gentlemen, he is 59 years old. Now y'all tell me, because some of y'all old enough to remember, didn't this guy used to be a part of a group by the name of DC Talk also? Because before the Newsboys came, there was a group called DC Talk, and there was a guy named, what was the name? Mac. Y'all help me. Toby Mac. Wasn't Toby Mac a part of DC Talk? We're the gospel music lovers. Where's St. James when you need him? He might know this. He might know this one. But but wasn't he a part of the DC Talk group? I could have sworn this guy was a part of the DC Talk group. But anyway, he's 59 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He is the former frontman for the Christian band called Newsboys. Now, multiple accusers have come forward and they're accusing including Sean Davis, Randall Crawford, Jason Jones, and some other unnamed men and women who have publicly alleged essay assault as well as drugging by this dude. Now, I need for y'all to understand, he was an equal opportunity offender. Ashanta Oroto Mototobo. This dude was actually men and women. Now, I remember seeing that there is a video out there of an exchange that he had with one guy outside of a hotel room. And I'm paying attention a little bit more to this story. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about this story over here on this particular platform. We're going to go into this story like we do all of the rest of the stories, because I kind of feel like this is some really good information. Now, the allegations against Tait said that he drugged and essayed several people over decades. So, because the one thing I remember about this group, this gospel group, they used to have a song to me, I'm just a Jesus freak. I'm a Jesus freak. And I said to myself today, I said, he might have been more of a freak than he was a Jesus freak. I'm just saying. This dude was doing the most. But this happened over decades. And here's the other thing that I started thinking about. When you look at gospel music artists and gospel music, this is something I've had to wrap my head around, because I was living under the notion that everybody who sang for Jesus, who loved the Lord, these people just loved Jesus and they were living a holy life because that's what they told us when I was growing up. Everybody who loved the Lord was living holy. And the more you hear these types of stories and the more you encounter these types of people, ladies and gentlemen, you are learning very, very quickly that everybody that's singing about Jesus ain't living for him. Oh, my God. Oh, my Lord. Michael Tait here, former lead frontman for the Newsboys. This guy has multiple accusations against him. Okay. All right. At least 6 men have accused him of grape as well as unwanted SA contact. Tait issued a statement admitting to unwanted sensual touching and substance abuse, but disputed some of the details. So he sort of said, yeah, there was some heavy petting and touching and carrying on, but some of that other stuff that they saying, that stuff isn't true. That isn't true. Now, when did this stuff happen? It happened in the late 90s, you all, okay, through the 2010s. So he was up there still fooling around in the 2010s, okay? Between 1999 and the year 2000 and 2003 has been cited in the lawsuit. The allegations surfaced publicly in 2024 as well as this year, 2025. And he actually left the Newsboys group in January of this year. So when these people found out about all of this stuff going on with this dude, they said, you know what? We think you might want to step down. I know you're just a Jesus freak. Freakazoid. I'll be your freakazoid. Come on and wind me up. Y'all know I'm a goofball. Here's the thing. I'll be tickling myself. This is the funny thing. Just because people sing gospel music do not mean these folks is doing, and living a Christian life. Here's the other thing. Y'all remember with the guy that went over to Isaac Curry about a week or two ago, and folks got all hot under the collar because of some of the comments that he was making about black gospel music, right? I have come to understand, a lot of these gospel artists are not living nothing. That's why allegedly, and I do mean alleged when I say this, y'all know Vicky Winans, allegedly, they say that Vicky just be lit all the time. They say Vicky be drunk over there. I'm just saying that's what they say. I don't know if it's true, but that's what they be saying about Vicky. The word on the street says she's a little bit of a lush, right? And here's the thing. These people be talking about, they've been lied on, they've been buked. Then you need to run to the water. You need to shake yourself loose. And she probably needed to shake herself loose because she was too drunk to get rid of whatever was binding her up. I'm just saying. Hey, Daryl, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, it's kind of like Diana Ross. They say when Diana Ross got arrested, she fell out the car. She was so drunk that one time. They say that some of these gospel artists over here is real drunk. I'm just saying. So Tait, he is alleged, and a lot of these incidents are alleged to occur in various locations. And see, here's the other thing. When you got a lot of money and you could travel around, you get access to be able to do a lot of things that a lot of other people would not have access to and would not be able to do, because money, power, and sex is always something that comes into play when you're dealing with these types of folks. Okay. So you got to keep that in mind. Also, it's a funny situation to me. It's a funny situation, very funny situation. And so I find it to be hilarious, ladies and gentlemen. I really do. Let me see where we're at. All right, I got 71 likes. Can I get at least 10 more of you guys to hit the like button? I would really appreciate it. Thank y'all so very much, if you don't mind. Listen here, Jesse. As long as she got Long Island, she don't need nobody else. My goodness, Aruda Baduki. My God. Now, a lot of this is said that a lot of this has happened on the music scene. Examples were given in Tennessee, a touring, and a criminal preliminary investigation is underway with the Brentwood Police Department there in Tennessee. Now, some of the victims are seeking criminal accountability. In other words, they want him to go to jail. Some of the people that are after this dude say he deserves to go to jail. Okay. Sean Davis is actively helping build a case and urging other victims to come forward. The allegations prompted an industry fallout because the Newsboys were dropped by their label. So there's all sorts of fallout because of the stuff that this young man has done. So in other words, ladies and gentlemen, there are there are consequences to these here actions. Okay. And so that's what's primarily going on with this particular case. So I'm just here to tell y'all right now, Michael Tait, that case is going to be really interesting, and it's going to be unfolding, and we're going to get a lot of good information from this case. I kind of feel like, because it's going to show you a history and a pattern of behavior with these gospel artists and a lot of these people that are in the gospel music space. Just because they're singing about Jesus does not mean that they're living a life for Jesus. And I had to learn that. I really did. Because I started finding out a lot of stuff about these gospel artists and these people. People say, well, you have to admire them for their talent. Here's my thing. Now, this is going to sound like a provocative statement. I'd rather listen to R&B, because R&B artists are not saying that they're Christian or they're living a Christian lifestyle. But it's like the height of hypocrisy to me for you to be hopping around on stage talking about you a Jesus freak and you really just a freak. You understand what I'm saying? That just trips me out. That really trips me out, you all. It really does trip me out. And that's another reason why I stopped supporting a lot of these gospel artists a lot of times when I found out about a lot of this stuff, because a lot of these people aren't trying. You know, it reminds me of Dr. Mattie Moss Clark. They said Dr. Mattie Moss Clark used to tell them girls over there a lot of times that y'all need to be living the life that y'all singing about. You don't want to be around here doing all kind of stuff. And that's why Denise pretty much got put out the group, because Denise was over there. Denise was only concentrating on one verse of the Bible, and she knew him. That's talking about intimacy. And Denise was over there, you know, doing all kind of stuff. You know, she bought some sunshine, all right. Denise was doing a whole bunch of mess. And Dr. Clark and them folks said, oh, we can't have Denise over here 6 and 7 months pregnant, running around here tomorrow. You bought the sunshine, Jesus in my life, and doing all of that stuff. And believe it or not, that's why I do listen to a lot more R&B stuff. I really do. I'm sorry. I just do. I don't know what it is. Something about gospel music to me and now just doesn't hit. Certain songs will get me, but a lot of them don't. I'll be honest. That new Miranda Curtis album is fire, by the way. If y'all have not heard Miranda Curtis's new worship album, let me tell you, that album is fire. I mean, that's literally been on repeat on my Spotify, like literally been on repeat. I love me that new album that Miranda Curtis has got coming out right now. So I'm just trying to tell you, when it comes to this particular fella, a lot of stuff is definitely going to, come out, and there's going to be a lot of fallout. Shout out to all of you supporting the Mad Church Disease channel. If I could get at least 10 of you all tonight to support the channel, it would be very, very helpful to us as an organization and as a channel. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to Gerald. It is Gerald's birthday today. Shout out to Gerald. Wanted to make sure that we're supporting Gerald. So absolutely. And I went ahead and blessed Gerald on his birthday. And the reason why I can do that is because of you guys' support over here at the Mad Church Disease channel. So I need for you guys to support the channel. Please make sure that you do that, because that would be very beneficial, and we could definitely be a blessing to so many other people. So y'all make sure y'all support the channel, support Mad Church Disease, because we got a lot of stuff that we're trying to do over here, and we definitely want to make sure we're bringing the heat and bringing great stories like this to you guys. So just make sure that you guys hit the like button and prepare yourselves.
Mad Church Disease, a channel that's all about current events, news, and Christian drama. A channel that's dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Our brothers and sisters who courageously stepped outside the safe bounds of institutional Christianity to tell the truth. A channel whose goal is to help the average person understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. So like, comment, subscribe, and smash the notifications button to be a part of this channel.
Shout out to the Mad Church Disease family. Shout out to all of the members of the Mad Church Disease channel. Shout out to all of you guys. Make sure that if you are not a member of the Mad Church Disease channel, please make sure that you do join the membership and consider renewing your membership when it becomes time for you to renew your membership. We're one of these channels that definitely likes to have folks come over and join the channel and support the channel. We always try to support you guys and be a blessing in your life. And we're hoping that you guys will be a blessing to the channel as well. And I know so many of you are, and you do. And so I appreciate every single one of you. So shout out to all of you. So we want to go ahead and just be a blessing to those of you. We just gifted some memberships. Oh, we got some people over there in the bushes. Thank y'all. I see there was a couple of people out there, y'all out there in the bushes, and you just got a free membership. Shout out to I Am Courtney. Shout out to Spicy Red, Linda Turner, Constance Brown, Steels Brown, as well as Queen Sheba. Shout out to all of you. And your free memberships that you just got. So even though you may be lurking in the bushes, you still were able to get your free membership, and we love and appreciate every one of you guys. So now y'all get access to all of those private videos as well. So shout out to all of you. And that is our birthday gift to Gerald by helping to give 5 people some membership. So we're gifting Gerald as well as gifting 5 people. So shout out to all of you that were able to get your free membership. So shout out to you guys. Just make sure you renew and support of the channel. All right, guys. Now, the gentleman that you see on the screen, this is where we're going to hang our hat on tonight. This is where we're going to give the majority of our commentary tonight. And I'm going to slow down and I'm going to walk through this. The gentleman you see on your screen, his name is Kirbyjon Caldwell. Many of you may not know that I did this story on Kirbyjon Caldwell about 4 years ago. I was the first person to report on the Kirbyjon Caldwell story. And no, this ain't Donnie Darnell. This is Kirby. Speaking of Donnie, y'all did hear Donnie McClurkin say he got one more album in him and he's done. He's going to retire. He done with the gospel music industry when he's done, with this last album. And you know, they all say that. But just so you know, that's what Donnie said. But Kirbyjon Caldwell, was the pastor and is back now the pastor of the Windsor Village United Methodist Church. Okay. He is the senior pastor. And he was a convicted participant in a scheme, ladies and gentlemen, where he sold worthless Chinese bonds. Now, the victims included 24 mostly elderly investors. Kirbyjon Caldwell. When I tell this story, and I did a video the other day, you guys, if you didn't watch my video on Kirbyjon Caldwell, go back, because I took you back and then I brought you forward and I gave you some commentary. Okay, did that for you. All right, now y'all listen to me. Y'all listen to me. When I have to tell this story about Kirbyjon Caldwell, the first thing that most people say, well, he paid all the money back. He gave all the money back. Just because of somebody who robbed you gives you the money back does not necessarily mean that you need to be all forgiving. I think because a lot of times we're Christians, people assume that we just have to forgive everybody just because of the stuff they've done. I've said the equivalent of this stuff is like if somebody comes to your house and robs you, steals from you, and then 2 weeks later, you open up your front door and they standing in your living room and they go, oh, here's all your stuff back. I know I stole from you, but here's your stuff back. I'm always looking at people like, now, wait a minute, something's wrong with you. Just because he paid the money back doesn't necessarily mean he's altruistic, like he's doing a favor to the victims. He sold these people worthless Chinese bonds. Okay, sold them worthless stuff that was just stupid. Now, he was released from federal custody after pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and also paying $3.5 million in restitution plus $600,000 that he voluntarily paid back. And he was trying to keep himself out of going to jail because some of this stuff he paid before he even went into jail. That's the other part that most people don't understand. He was trying to, do a good deed so he wouldn't serve so much time. He was actually sentenced, I believe, to about 6 years, almost 7 years in prison. Now he's returning to preach at the church and he's holding a ticketed birthday celebration event. So his situation coming back over there at Windsor Village, he's holding a ticketed birthday event for himself where you got to buy a ticket, first of all, to come celebrate with him on his birthday. Lord have mercy. Now, he admitted in an interview that we're going to be taking a look at here in a moment that he is broke. That's what he said in the interview. He said, I'm broke. All right. Now, the initial reporting and interviews took place in Houston. Many visitors lived in Louisiana as well. The church community largely and at the Windsor Village are supporting Caldwell. They're viewing his return as repentance and restoration. I don't view it that way, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you why. This man has an MBA, okay? He worked on Wall Street, okay? So y'all need to understand something. He stole $3.5 million, $3.5 million from investors. And he tried to pay the money back before he went to prison. And now some of these church members are coming back saying, this is restoration. Y'all think this is restoration? Okay. We're gonna dive into some of these interviews that he's been giving. And I want you to tell me whether or not you feel like some of the things that this man is saying sounds and looks like restoration. Let's cue and add to the stage the video.
I think
I'm going to pause this for commentary and for copyright reasons, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to pause this, but let's get into this interview and let's give some commentary to this interview. And you tell me, does he sound like he's sorry for stealing these people's money? I'm not new to it. I'm true to it. Let's go.
Wiser. I think I'm smarter, believe it My family may disagree, but I'm going to stand by this. I think I have a better sense of humor, keener sense of wit. I am more reflective, and I have a whole lot less money. In fact, I'm broke.
Speaking of money,
Yep.
you pleaded guilty to defrauding people out of $3-some million.
Correct.
You paid the money back.
Correct.
All of it.
All of it.
3.5.
6.
3.6 million.
Who's counting?
You were in home confinement for almost a year. Does that mean you could never leave home?
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to the way he answers this question. They say, hey, you was on home confinement. Does that mean you could never leave home? Listen to how he answers the question.
Well, thank you for mentioning the fact that I paid everybody back. That has gotten lost in the myriad of stuff. And as you may or may not know, one outlet gave the report and never mentioned full restitution. And perhaps it's not been mentioned because, as I understand it, it's very, very rare, if not downright history making.
For that.
And does he not strike you as a little narcissistic, the way he kind of talks about this stuff? Oh, it never gets mentioned. I paid restitution. You just gave them people back the money you stole, fool. Restitution.
To happen.
Yes, sir. So I'm not bragging about it, but it's a function of, it's a
You are bragging.
matter of fact. And I think it should be mentioned so that if and when others are found guilty of committing wire fraud, they should be inspired or motivated to try to pay people back.
So since you've brought all this,
Oh, people should look at what I did, and they should be inspired and motivated to pay people back their money. Ninja.
up,
Legend.
I have to ask you this.
Sure.
Nobody in your church was defrauded.
Thank you for asking that. Oh, I was
Just
telling my wife yesterday.
just because you didn't rob the people at the church don't mean it's not still significant. I'm just saying.
Throughout this entire process, the 1,171 days in Beaumont, the 329 days on home confinement, even after I was indicted, I had not felt a sense of shame. And I had not felt a sense of shame because I know I did not intentionally defraud anybody. I know I paid back both my part and my co-defendant's part. So shame, I was crestfallen about it and very sad, but shame was not a part of the equation.
Embarrassed?
Well, he should have felt shame. He should have been embarrassed. You stole all these people's money. And I think the thing that he says, oh, well, because of the elderly people part of it is what made him feel that way.
Well, let me just finish. But when I was accused of stealing money from the elderly members of my church.
Not true.
Absolutely untrue.
Well, it wasn't the elderly members of your church, but they were elderly people. That's what the prosecutors allege, and that's what you went to jail for. And see, this is the thing for me, and this is what makes my head almost explode when I tell this story about John Kirby Caldwell. Kirbyjon Caldwell, something is wrong with him mentally. It's something wrong with him up there. I'm sorry, y'all. Something's wrong. The stuff that comes out of his mouth really irritates my soul. Dude, you went to jail and the prosecutors allege that you stole money from the elderly. That's why you went to jail. And you didn't prove otherwise.
And I felt a sense of shame. Not because it was true, but because the thought of that happening.
Not because it was true. You went to jail, you fool.
Is so painful to me that when somebody walked by, say, oh, there goes that Caldwell who stole money from the elderly members of the church. The mere thought of that just punched me in the gut, and in a sense has left a stain on my soul.
Pastor, we know
That's how special that is to me. Yeah.
We know what happened.
Right.
The question is,
Well, some folk know what happened.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
The question is, why did it happen?
Oh, very good. You may
You ready for a stupid answer? Now, he actually asked him a legitimate question. Why did this happen? Listen at his answer.
recall the press conference,
I do.
and you were there.
I was there.
I held in my hand 14 to 16 documents, and I said, I am not guilty because I have these contracts in my hand, and I waived them. By the way, parenthetically, having that press conference was a bad idea.
I'm sorry, sitting here with this interview is also a bad idea. That's just my humble opinion.
Bad advice about that, but we're not going to cry over spilled milk. Let's go forward. And I accept. Oh, Lynn, excuse me. Let me say in a very clarion and clear way with a horn, bullhorn. Whoo-hoo, I accept full responsibility for my poor judgment and subsequent illegal action. I accept full responsibility.
Now, I don't believe he takes some full responsibility. And I'm going to tell you why I don't think he takes full responsibility. You all wait and you hang on to how he answers a few more of these questions. And the truth is going to come out. Now, for those of you that are worried about that eye of his, he was in prison. And I'm thinking he didn't get the best kind of health care up in prison, is my guess. Because he didn't go into jail looking like that. And somebody left a comment on one of my videos and they said, well, Marcellus, he didn't look like that a couple of months ago when we saw him. So something has definitely transpired with him. So who knows? He's been out of jail for over a year, you guys. He's just now getting back to the church.
So explain to
While
me.
it may not be intentional, I accept responsibility.
You say it wasn't intentional. So what was it?
Well, here we go. Back to the. Oh, you're really good. 14 to 16 documents in my right hand. I am not guilty because I have these contracts in my hand. 16 different entities or individuals, organizations that have promised to buy the bonds. Little did I know that none of those contracts, not one, had a performance date. Therefore, they were not enforceable.
So you're saying
I did not know that.
How did he not know that? And he has an MBA. How does he not know that? How does a person who worked on Wall Street doesn't know that? How does a person who's had a 663 license and Series 7 and all these other how do you not know that? Interesting. Okay, more excuses. Hang on to your hats.
I should have known it.
you have an MBA.
I do.
From a prestigious university.
Absolutely.
You worked on Wall Street.
Exactly, for a year.
How could you not know?
That's exactly what the courts would have said. Precisely.
And what kills me is when he goes, that's exactly what the courts would have said. No, that's not what the courts would have said. That's what the court said. And that's why you went to prison, numbskull. Because you had... Talk amongst yourselves. Lord have mercy, help me, Jesus. I know, I'm sorry, Lord. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but the man's an idiot. Listen to me. It's not no ha ha ha. Fool, that's why you went to jail. You went to jail, and that is what the court said. Listen at his answer. I'm serious, y'all. This is crazy.
And not only did I not know, the attorney I had working with me did not know either.
So you're saying that you didn't intend to defraud people. You thought they were going to get a return on their investment, and you were fooled.
Absolutely. I lost money as well, and a lot of it.
That's the story.
Well, that's the truth.
Mm.
You know what that meant? You mean, you full of crap. That's what that means, just so y'all know. You full of crap. Even the reporter recognizes it.
Boy. 7-year ordeal this has been.
By the way, while you're holding that thought,
yeah,
if I may, I paid everybody back, both my part and my co-defendant's part. I began paying the investors, or the victims, as the government calls victims, investors, back before I was indicted.
Before you were indicted.
Over $1 million.
But he only paid that beforehand because he was trying to keep himself from going to jail. That's why you guys need to go watch the video I posted the other day about this story, because I kind of give you the full picture of that. so that way you can see it. I'm not going to do that tonight because I made a whole nother video about it. Just go watch it. It's on the channel right now.
Paid back before I got in there. As people would ask for the money, I gave it to them. And I'm probably leaning over my skis right now, and my friend who's sitting behind you may tell me don't say this, but I remember with clarity when one of the investors asked for the money back, I paid it back, and I can still hear my wife saying, why do you always have to pay people back? Why doesn't the other guy pay people back?
You have to pay them back because you had the money, and your wife didn't want you to pay that money back because maybe she did, she was dipping in her shopping fund. Something wasn't right, because watch this, you all. Hang on to your hats. We get into the good part.
To which I said, I told her what he told me as to why he couldn't pay people back. But I paid him back. And listen, call me foolish, call me gullible, call me whatever. If I had it to do over again, I'd still pay him back because it's the right thing to do.
So you're saying,
in spite of the fact that I've got no credit for it. Excuse me.
Despite the fact that I've got no credit for it, what kind of credit do you think you should get, sir? You stolen people money. That's the one thing about some of these pimp preachers that really drives me crazy. You don't get no award for stealing people's money. You don't get no award for paying back the money. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody needs to get a clue.
You're saying this whole thing, you were duped into thinking that this investment was legitimate. Is that what you're telling me?
I've had several folk put that in writing about me, yes. I mean, it's not, look.
I can hear people saying,
yeah.
Well, of course he's saying that now.
Right. Well, I understand why they would. So look, I didn't wake up one morning and say, God, you know what? Today's a great day to break the law. Let's go do that. Nah.
When nobody gets up every day and says, I want to break the law, they just do it. And you broke the law, sir.
Not at all. So
You're the pastor of a church with like 14-some thousand people. You have all these great community involvements and projects. Why were you trying to sell bonds? Did you need the money?
Golden question, ladies and gentlemen. Why were you trying to sell these bonds? Watch his answer.
No, and several folk have asked me about that. And again, this is where the dupe comes in. So let me, before I answer that, gullible, me. Yes, I can't deny that.
Oh, I'm the victim. I was gullible. I'm the victim. Watch this. I'm the victim. Now he's the victim.
Dumb, made a bad decision. Yep, that's me. I erroneously believed with all my heart that one of these 14 or 16 deals was going to pay off and we would be able to.
You can believe in Santa Claus. You can believe in the Easter Bunny. You can believe all sorts of things. That doesn't necessarily mean it make it true. Just because you believe something and you felt like something was going to pay off, but you worked in the financial sector and you worked in the financial market. So this excuse that he gives to me, ladies and gentlemen, is quite troubling. I think you should be troubled by it too. That's a stupid answer. That's why I said I don't think he should have gave this interview, because that was just a dumb answer.
To invest in the community at a whole nother level beyond the $75 million worth of improvement that we'd already implemented.
So you thought this was a good deal, so you to turn around and invest in the community?
We don't know. That the proceeds that would come from the bond sales would be used to invest in the community.
Prosecutors said you took out a line of credit and used the money to pay for bills, your own personal bills. Is that true?
Now, here's where we're going to hang our hat, and we're going to stop after this question. Listen at this answer right here.
I don't recall that. Who said that?
I read a report. Not true?
I don't know about that.
No personal line of credit? You didn't pay mortgages, pay for the house, cars? Nothing?
Well, rephrase the question.
Rephrase it.
Yeah.
Rephrase the question. He think he in court right now. Rephrase. Rephrase. Just rephrase the question. Watch him.
Yeah, I did not take a lot of credit.
Did you use
But I
any
heard-
of the money
from proceeds?
from the proceeds to
Yeah,
pay for
yeah.
your own bills?
So that's what my attorney told me. I think some of the money was used to pay one house note rate. And that was a problem. See, so that's the deal.
So you did use some of the money to pay your personal bills. And see, this is what I mean by I don't think he is sorry for what he did and where he's talking about he takes full responsibility. His answer right there just lets you know he's full of malarkey. Sir, quit making excuses. You stolen people's money. You use those people's money to pay some of your personal bills, right? And he's going to go into talking about commingling of funds after this, where I taught you guys over here, those of you that follow this channel, y'all know that I told you if you work in the financial markets, you have a fiduciary responsibility to your client, and you also cannot be commingling all of your money. So listen to me very carefully when I tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. The number one problem with John Kirby Caldwell, Kirbyjon Caldwell, I should say, is the fact that he's just not taking personal responsibility. And that is what's problematic with Kirbyjon Caldwell. Ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't take ownership of what he actually did. Okay. And that's the problem with that whole situation. In my opinion, I think you all were able to hear his answers. You heard what the man said. Even when he was asked about, did you take some of the money and use it for your own personal stuff? I don't recall that. I don't remember nobody saying that. Rephrase the question. But here's the thing. There was something called commingling. Now, he knows darn well, if you worked on Wall Street and you worked in the financial markets and in the financial sector, you know darn well what commingling is. Sir, dude, come on, bro. He tried to act like he's all surprised by the word commingling. The prosecutor, yeah, that's what they did. They accused me of commingling. No, if they didn't accuse you, that's what you were found guilty of. And you need to come to grips with the fact that that's what you did. But he's still trying to hold up this air of, I'm innocent. I didn't do nothing wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to drop the link for any of those of you that want to come up and give your thoughts on any of the stories that I've covered tonight. If you want to come up and discuss that, you have more than a right to do so. But that's what he said. I've pinned the link to the top of the screen for you. You more than have a right to come up and give your thoughts. Don't be afraid to give your thoughts and however you feel as it relates to this story, because we definitely want to give you guys an opportunity to sound off. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're dealing with when it comes to Kirbyjon Caldwell, because Kirbyjon Caldwell is full of crap. I don't care what nobody say. He's full of crap. He stole $3.5 million from them people. Before he went back to jail, he had only given about $1 million back before he went to jail. Come on now. See, I'm not new to it. I'm true to it. A lot of people are not aware of that. He only gave them $1 million back. So they worked and I bet you anything. He cleared out his bank account, and I bet you the church also helped to pay restitution and give that money back. What do y'all want to make a bet? I guarantee you there was some offerings raised. I bet you the people of God took up a wailing. I bet you them folks went over there and they was, Lord, please deliver. Deliver, Jesus, deliver. I'm sure of it. And that's the sad part about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the sad part about it. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely, Tara. Think about it. You're absolutely correct. And thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I kind of feel like he know what he did too. That's just me. I really do. I feel like he knows what he did. I really feel like the man knows what he did. Hey, Jacqueline. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel on that note, ladies and gentlemen. He most certainly knew what he was doing. Shout out to every single one of you that supports the Mad Church Disease. I just want to ask you guys, if you don't mind, please make sure that you hit the like button, because when you hit the like button, It shows that you're the algorithm, and YouTube has made a new update to their algorithm. And so I need for you guys to make sure that you're subscribing to the channel. Please make sure that you hit the bell notification so you'll be notified, and you need to click on all notifications when you hit the bell, so that way when we go live you will be notified. Please make sure that you do that so that you can stay updated. And also subscribe to the email newsletter, so that way you guys can get that information, because I'm trying to tell you that hitting the like button is very crucial, and it's definitely going to be even more crucial going forward. Somebody says, I live close to the church and not many people. What did it say? Yes, I live by his church and not many people that it like ghost build. Oh, okay. So it kind of is like a ghost town. I got you. Well, they said they lost a lot of members. They said they lost a lot of members. Thank you, Toy. I appreciate that. And Daryl says that he's coming on, so we're waiting on Daryl here. But that's what they said, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to all of you that are supporting the channel. A shout out to all of you that got a free membership on today. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank y'all. Even the folks that were lurking in the bushes. Thank y'all all. I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank y'all. And I just need you all to understand I'm working diligently to provide you guys with some really good stories, and keeping you guys up to date with a lot of these stories that no other vlogger is covering. Y'all remember that's what I was really known for over here on this channel. And I definitely want to make sure that I'm able to stick to what I do and what keeps you guys informed. Now, I need y'all to understand, I'm not talking about these things to just simply say, woe is the church and hate the church. I'm trying to make people consciously aware and intellectually aware of the things that are going on around them, so that you can not be taken advantage of, and you can stand up on your own spiritual 2 feet. Jesus plus nothing equals everything. You don't need all of this other stuff that folks are trying to add on. It's almost like a religious chalupa. Everybody's got all of this stuff that they want to wrap up in your relationship with Jesus, right? And it's imperative that you understand, ladies and gentlemen, that you don't need that. And that it's possible that you can live a successful Christian life, and that successful Christian life can be done because Jesus plus nothing equals everything. What's up, Daryl?
What's going on, bro?
What's up, sir?
I'm flabbergasted, and I don't think he understands. I don't think he understands how this makes him look horrible.
Yeah.
And the narcissism was on full display in his entire conversation. I mean, it was convoluted. It didn't make any sense. And you kept saying, like, you have an MBA, you have a background in finance,
right? Like,
dude, and
he act like co-mingling caught him by surprise.
And it's like, you can't. I'm not even an accounting major. You can't do that. You can't mix and mingle finances and funneling funds like that. That's against that you automatically are going to get tapped by the federal government, because it's like, what are you doing? And I don't know, it made it even worse because he looked like a villain.
That's why I told people, I say, I don't know if you saw the clip on the other video I did. He wore shades to reintroduce himself back to the church, right? So they didn't really see the eye. But in this interview, this thing made him look. It made him look tired. It made him look old. It made him look weak. It made him look shady as all get out. I'm sorry. He looked like Shady Boots in this interview.
It's sad. And if you know his history, like, I'm very familiar with him, with the work that he's done with the Methodist Church. It made me uncomfortable because it was kind of sad. Right. But also at the same time, bro, you need to take some accountability. I don't get leaders. It's not just pastors and ministers, but leaders that do not take accountability. The buck stops with you. Absolutely. If you're wrong, just admit it. It makes you look better by doing that. Right. You make it worse by making accusations and assumptions. And that's what he was doing. It was just,
But
was
he
weird,
said,
man.
but see, here's the funny thing. People come to me and they say, well, Marcellus, he said I'd take full accountability. I said, but did you listen to the rest of his answers? The rest of his answers show he did not take full accountability.
He didn't. He didn't. And then he was like making these like little jokes. That's exactly what the judge said. I'm like, yeah, and that's why your butt was in jail.
Exactly. And that goofy laugh when he did that, I was like, it reminded me of, how they have villains on cartoons and stuff. And he was, he was like, oh yeah, right there. Oh, interesting that you should bring that up. And I'm like,
what's the villain from the Smurfs? What's that?
Gargamel.
Gargamel. He looked just like Gargamel. It was just. I think ministers need to learn about crisis communications. They need to learn how to effectively communicate when you are talking to the public, and they need to understand body control,
right,
and like speaking clearly.
Correct.
Because it did not look good. It just didn't.
This is how great minds think alike. Why was I walking around the house the other day going la 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 la? Because that is true. It reminded you. He reminded you of the Smurfs. It really.
All he needed to do was put on that little monk suit, put on some white powder on his face, and that's Gargamel.
Listen, it was hilarious. But I think going forward, especially with all of these stories. Now, what do you think about the Michael Tait story? What do you think about the Newsboys situation?
Into the Newsboys situation, but I'm reading the accusations, and it's really sad and kind of gross, and it's just disheartening. And I take your sentiments 100% about just because you're singing about Jesus doesn't mean that you're about the faith.
Absolutely.
And I think this is the year of exposure, man. These people are getting exposed, in more ways than one.
Well, but it's like they cannot understand, and I think God is highlighting it for us so that we can see that standing up on our own spiritual 2 feet is really important, and not having all of this other stuff. Because I really personally believe that Jesus plus nothing gives you everything. Some of this other stuff that people are doing is just not necessary, and you're really sort of getting that vibe from what's happening in the world today. Me personally. Now, Daryl, there was something else I just wanted to ask you. Oh, were you familiar with the group DC Talk?
No, I haven't heard of them.
Oh, because I could have sworn this dude was a part of DC Talk.
He was a part of DC Talk.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he was DC Talk. Then he went to Newsboys.
That's what I
didn't listen to that growing up. That's that CCM.
Yeah. I didn't listen to it either.
I was not familiar with that.
Yeah,
so
I was too busy over here. You've been running for a long time. Your time is winding up. You better make up your mind. It's getting late. You know how black folks are. In the evening, the sun is going down. Okay.
I was listening to him too. I was listening to Timothy Wright this morning.
Back in them days, we all were. Oh, and the Thompson Community Singers. Oh my God, my mind's made up. Are you kidding? In the 90s,
man, John P. Key in his heyday.
Oh my God, through God,
we all were singing "Show Up." We were singing "Show Up." We were singing
Lord.
Sovereign.
And look, Vanessa Bell Armstrong too. So, back in those days, we were really with Thomas Whitfield, because right before Thomas Whitfield died, and this should let y'all know how much I love gospel music. Thomas Whitfield, he produced one of her most successful gospel records, and then he died. Yeah. And then after he died, her career really went kind of like downhill because he was gearing up. Because you got to understand something about Vanessa Bell Armstrong's voice. First of all, it's it's unique, right? She got a unique voice, Daryl. Not all producers know how to produce everybody.
Yeah, and there was a time where she was at the cusp of like hitting it, because remember, people forget she did the theme song to the TV show Amen. Like
Absolutely.
People forget about that. That's her singing it. And to your point, it was like when he passed, it just dissipated.
Absolutely.
And me and my friend Marcel, we were debating. We were talking about 90s gospel, and we were talking about 92. That sweet spot. You had Thomas Whitfield doing his thing, Richard Smallwood and the East Coast, and then you had the Hawkins and the West Coast. And we were like, what would happen if Whitfield was still alive and those three were doing their thing? Gospel would be totally different.
If James Cleveland would have lived, listen to me very carefully. I saw a clip of James Cleveland's choir the other day. The song was old, but it was rocking. You hear me? I forget the name of the song. I was like, I've never even heard of this song before. I'm like, how did it slip by me? Let me tell you something. That choir was on fire. It was in his church, and they were singing. And I said, oh, wait a minute. I said, this song right here is bumping. And you can imagine what he would have done if all of those people would have been able to come together. Could you imagine James Cleveland, Walter Hawkins, the Mississippi Mass Choir, like all of them people coming together? Oh my God. It
was right around when Thomas Whitfield passed, because it was around the cusp that we saw that urban contemporary blend. That's when Hezekiah Walker, John P. Key came on the scene, and it kind of like transitioned into that area. But like 88 to 92, you still had that traditional movement. And don't forget Donald Vales when he was doing that Ebenezer.
Absolutely.
And at my church back in the day, like it was like that. It was a sound that was like unique and different. Like I listened to some of those old albums, and it's still a vibe.
Right. Absolutely. Listen, I'm still listening to the Thompson Community Singers. I still listen to that. By the way, I did mention Miranda Curtis. I don't know if you heard that new record of hers.
I love Miranda Curtis.
Oh, let me tell you something. That album is on fire. To Him Who Sits on the Throne and Unto the Lamb. She did her own version. She had a full orchestra. Let me tell you something. Really? Oh, yes, sir. Listen to me. If you all have not heard Miranda Curtis sing that song, y'all need to look it up tonight on Spotify. Now you going to bed, I don't recommend you look it up because it's gonna keep you.
You'll be shouting. Yeah. Have you heard her version of Promises of God? Who sings that? It's from
that's Judy Christie McAllister.
She did her version of it, and I was like, this is.
Is that on one of the records, or was that on YouTube?
She did that doing praise and worship at the Potter's House.
Oh, I might need to take a look and listen to that.
Take a look at that. Speaking about Vanessa Bell, so you mentioned James Cleveland.
Right.
My old church organist, he talked about the time when James Cleveland heard Vanessa Bell's version of Peace Be Still for the first time in the studio. He was in the studio when it happened.
Wow.
And he was taken aback. James Cleveland was in tears hearing Vanessa Bell's version of Peace Be Still. He loved, because people forget that was his signature song. He was in close-out concerts singing Peace Be Still. And then he heard her version. He was so happy. He started playing that version of it and the note that
absolutely. But you got to keep in mind, James Cleveland was also with the Caravan. So that was like that's like an amalgamation of a group and a group of people that gospel has not seen, and I don't really feel like the way gospel is going to ever see again. We really, if you really love Black gospel music, gospel choirs was important. Let me just tell you something. If you back in the 90s, if you ever went to a Hezekiah Walker concert, let me tell you something. The floor would be rocking, like literally. Then people would be singing the roof off the place. And you'd be like, oh my God. Like I've never been in a church where the floor was like bouncing. John P. Key and Hez used to have the floor bouncing. So it was off the chain. That's how I feel about it. But I'm just saying, because y'all know I do love gospel music. I just think, first of all, we need to stop playing. Gospel music is about selling records in industry. Call a spade a spade. You got to sell records to remain in the industry. Nowadays, you got to download streams. So we need to stop pigeonholing Black gospel artists to a certain kind of sound for gospel. We need to get out of that and let these people use all of their gifts, all of their talents, because some of them ain't living for Jesus. No way. So you may as well just enjoy the music for what the music is. I love Luther Vandross. I don't care what kind of life Luther was living. That's Luther's life. But I still know one thing: a house is not a home. When I climb the stairs and turn the key and the person ain't there, a house ain't a home. I tell you that. And Luther Vandross is one of my favorite singers. When I say he's one of my favorites, he is one of my favorites. There is nobody that could match what he did. Now, they try to say that other fella, Darwin Hobbs, was supposed to be the Luther Vandross of gospel. Let me tell you something. Darwin and Luther is not in the same category. I'm just saying.
If Luther wanted to do gospel, he would have tore the place up. He would have been the male contemporary of Aretha if he wanted to.
He'd have had you under the pew.
Yeah, and it was his choice. He talked about it was his choice not to sing gospel because he wanted to, but he's like, I'm not going.
Well,
Sing
first
gospel.
of all, gospel don't pay a lot. It pays.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let these people fool you. A lot of these gospel artists live in mansions. Some of them live on golf courses. Don't get fooled. Don't get fooled. They playing these games, and that's why I said let's treat it like a business. Understand it. When I looked up some of these people's income, I know what these people are making. So stop telling these lies. Y'all driving $70,000 and $100,000 vehicles. Tell me you ain't making no money in gospel. You're lying.
When Fred Hammond went independent, he became a multimillionaire.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, he has his own, like, motorcycle.
You see his house in Houston. Have you ever seen his house?
Banging.
Yeah, exactly. So I need these people to stop telling all these lies. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just, but I'm going back to what we talking about, the Newsboys. That wasn't my vibe.
Yeah. Pat, I've never heard Step to Jesus. You know anybody that Marco Woods? You ever heard that name before?
Never heard of that guy.
I've heard of Dwayne Woods, but not Marco Woods, because Dwayne was a part of Donald Lawrence's group. And the Tri-City. Yeah. I've heard of him. And you notice he fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. And that's the thing. Here's another thing. Gospel music, there's too many haters in gospel. The pie is big enough for everybody. I don't want to just see Yolanda Adams, Donnie McClurkin, Kurt Franklin, Tamala Mann. Oh my God. Ty Tribbett, Kiara, Kiki Sheard. That's about sums it up. They keep. Well, I mean, Diedrich, but you know, Diedrich is in a category all by himself. Well, speaking of Diedrich Haddon and the Haddons, did you see this new show that's out on, I forget what the name of the network. I think it's called Merge TV. They got this new, like Preachers of Atlanta down there. Have you seen this show yet?
No,
oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all need to pay attention to my community wall. I'll put something up for you guys in a minute here when I log off. They got a new show. It's got the Simmons girl, Nathan Simmons' ex-wife. She's on there. Oh yeah. This other arrogant preacher and his wife. I forget the name of their name again. They got they got Gerald and his wife. And then
Gerald Haddon?
Gerald
Haddon?
Gerald Haddon, right? Gerald's
really?
on there.
Okay.
Who else was on there? Oh God, help me. The first two episodes, of course, Jamal Bryant came to say hello. He stepped over in there. Because y'all know you can't do nothing in Atlanta without the gatekeepers. Jamal gonna step up in there. So Jamal came up in there. And so it's just a little show. It's produced by Holly Carter. If you're familiar with Holly Carter, Harley executive produced some of those shows on the We Network, and I think she's starting her own network. That's what I think is happening.
Okay, so let me let you know a little secret on some other stuff. You know, Zeus Network. Lemmy Plummer. You know he's a preacher's kid, right?
I think I might have heard him say something like that. Yeah.
His dad was not the founder, but one of the creators of the Word Network back in the day. And he was a very prominent minister in Detroit. I think he lives in Israel now, if I'm not mistaken. Glenn Plummer is his name. And he's
Zeus must stand for beat you up. Is that what Zeus stands for? Because that's all they do over there is fight.
But when I think about Preachers of Atlanta, I think about Lemmy because that's where he got his start. He helped to create that, and then he turned that into Zeus. And it's just like, how do you go from preachers to now baddies in fights and all that?
Listen, my sister swear up and down, and my niece, because I'm in social media, a lot of these people that they put on these networks are in social media, right? So because I'm a social media person, I'm always lurking in social media. I know some of the names. So my sister assumes that I watch these people. I don't know these people. I just know them through social media. You understand what I mean? Like the where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. He was over there. Like, I only know him from getting out of the trunk of the car talking about where the money reside. That's how I know him. You know what I mean? There was a couple of other people and I was like, okay, this is really interesting. But shout out to all of you guys for supporting the channel. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Well, I tell you, sir, thank you for coming up and sharing with me tonight.
No problem.
I have to tell you, it's been a very interesting situation. You got any final thoughts before we get ready to get out of here?
My birthday's on the 31st, so I'm happy. And
well, you're not a Leo, so no one cares. No.
Hey. Virgo season. Let's calm that down.
Yeah,
Let's
whatever. You're not a Leo. We all realize what's going on over here.
I saw the video that you sent me. I got some thoughts.
On which one?
The round table with Dr. Scrotum and this crew.
But that was an interesting roundtable, wasn't it?
It was a very interesting roundtable.
It was very interesting. So, and we definitely need to get in, have a conversation. We might need to do that in a private live.
We got to do a private because I got some other stuff.
Yeah. We can definitely discuss. So maybe I might be able to, pull some clips and stuff like that because I don't want no shenanigans. All right, but I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming up.
Thanks as always, man.
You're welcome. All right, you guys. I need y'all to hit the like button, please. I need every single one of y'all to hit the like button. We are on our way to 19,000 subscribers. Thank y'all so very much. For those of you that love and support the channel, please do so. I need for you guys to make sure that you're supporting the channel. If you're watching the replay, please make sure that you hit the like button and you look for all of the information as how you can reach out. Now, if you guys have a story that you want me to cover, feel free to email me. You can definitely email me and reach out to me, or you guys can reach out to me on DM me on Instagram. I think Instagram is probably the best place for you guys to DM me at Mad Church Disease on Instagram. If you're looking, like I said, to support the show, the Cash App information is on the screen. Please make sure that you support the channel, guys. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to all of the members, all of the new members. Hopefully you guys will renew your membership once your membership is over. And I hope to see you guys in the membership area. And we're definitely going to be talking. We have our book club starting this weekend. So I'll be sending an email about that. I'm sorry about that. I've been a little bit busy, but I'll be sending you guys an email in regards to that. But shout out to all of you. Thank you so much, Pat. I really appreciate. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the bell icon and make sure you press all notifications so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we'd love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button or somewhere around here so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.